It reminds us of a couple weeks ago when Biden said there was no vaccine before he entered office. You remember that moment? Even though he had been fully vaccinated before he actually became the president. We all hope that he was just lying in that situation and that he really didn't forget that he had been vaccinated only a couple weeks earlier by Donald Trump. Regardless, Trump wasn't going to let the American people forget about the real story of the vaccines, releasing this statement. I hope everyone remembers when they're getting the COVID-19, often referred to as the China virus vaccine, that if I wasn't president, you wouldn't be getting that beautiful shot for 5 years at best and probably wouldn't be getting it at all. I hope everyone remembers. There you have it. Today, Democrats are bragging about the National Rescue Plan that they passed yesterday. They're very proud of this. Joe Biden even bumped up the signing of the so-called American Rescue Plan from Friday to today. So they're getting it done really quick, and they love this. Pelosi and Schumer held a very gaudy signing ceremony overlooking the National Mall. Pelosi saying on the House floor yesterday that this bill is all about the children.
The Biden American Rescue Plan is about the children, their health, their education, the economic security of their families again. Our children's health is greatly protected by crushing the virus and by expanding access to health care through the Affordable Care Act expansions in here, Medicaid. Our children's education is advanced with a $170 billion to open schools safely.
The way they talk is just so funny. This all virtue signaling. It's all words. It's no action. It's just words saying the right thing. If it's really all about the kids, as Pelosi says, then Nancy needs to explain this headline from Newsweek. Schools will have to wait at least a year for 95% of Biden's COVID cash. This is the reality. You know, they say things that sound so good, and then the reality is it's all nonsense. That, according to estimates from the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, by the way. It's going to take a year to get the money. The reason for the wait, funding previously allocated to education by COVID relief and congressional spending bills has not even been spent yet. So Nancy, it's all about the children. It's all about the children. Yeah, okay. Make no mistake, this bill had very little to do with COVID. This is like you send your husband up the street to get some milk, and he comes back with milk and a sports car, and then wants you to be grateful that he got the milk. Here's what's actually in this bill. $350 billion for those blue state bailouts. We've been talking about it a lot. $30 billion in transit grants, mostly aimed, of course, at blue cities with all their public transit. $50 million in funding for EPA environmental justice grants. So that's a big COVID relief thing right there. Some of the more egregious items in the bill, if that wasn't enough, $11 billion in welfare without work requirements, so free money. $12 billion in foreign aid, $600 million to bail out the city of San Francisco that, of course, Nancy Pelosi wanted so bad. $600 million to San Francisco. Great news for big cities, of course. I'm sure that the idiots that run big cities like New York and San Francisco were worried that they might actually get their feet held to the fire. They might actually get voted out. Now they're safe. That's the good news for them, to continue destroying our biggest cities and running them like a bunch of babies. Welcome to the United States of welfare. Meanwhile, the wealth-spreading liberals are hailing this bill as the greatest piece of legislation since the New Deal. The Washington Post thinks that President Biden has ended poverty. Headline, Biden's stimulus showers money on Americans, sharply cutting poverty and favoring individuals over businesses, because they hate businesses. We know that. Evidently, a $1,400 one-time check is showering money on people. Okay, the Washington Post doesn't even try anymore. Rachel Maddow, another person that doesn't even try, absolutely gushing over this bill. Here she is telling Biden to put his name on those COVID checks.
Only because Republican presidents put their name on everything. Democratic presidents are the ones who are all modest, right? I mean, if I was a Democratic president, I would put my name on that check with like a big hologram on it, too. I would put sequins on the thing. It would be all about remembering, which party made this happen and which party all voted against it.
Oh, you're going to make fun of Republicans for doing it. You want to do the same thing. Can't falter for that, I guess. But anyways, wouldn't you love to corner a person like Rachel Maddow for a second and make her explain why this bill is so great and point out all the things that we've just been talking about? Republicans aren't lying. This bill has almost nothing to do with COVID. That's not just a political talking point. It's really true. You can look through it if you want. They count on you not. They count on you not knowing anything. This is how they get things done in Washington. More than anything, all this bill really does is let the same horrible people who have mismanaged this country off the hook. What kind of warped left-wing idiocy would you have to believe to think that that is a good thing? To think that letting people that mismanage this country, just paying them to continue to do it, is a good thing? Sadly, these people, the Democrats, are just getting started. We have to hope that senators like Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema can do better in the next batch of nonsense that comes their way. The moderate Democrats are all that the Republicans have right now to save us from the next couple of years. Even congressional Democrats admitted that this bill, it is bull, it's a bill. They said this bill was full of waste. Listen.
Do you accept there's waste in there?
There's some waste. There's some waste in there. There's no question there's some waste in there.
There's a ton of stuff in here that has nothing to do with COVID, nothing to deal with the emergency at hand. Some of it's very good, good stuff, but not at all related to COVID.
Yeah, they don't even care. They know the national debt isn't even real to the average voter. They're counting on your apathy. They're counting on you not caring. They're counting on that debt clock that's at 28, 29, 30 trillion dollars. They think it's not even real anymore. It's just monopoly money, like all the money for Democrats. It's not even real. Don't even worry about it. Let's put another 50 trillion on it. Why not? Let's pave all of the highways in this country in gold and just put it on the national debt. Why not? Money's not real. We can just print more of it. Ask Bernie. Freshman Senator Tommy Tuberville summed it up best.
The massive $1.9 trillion bill was not COVID relief, it was liberal relief. Everybody and everyone needs to understand what this was. It was not a rescue plan, it was a heist of taxpayers' money.
Well, the fun has only begun. They've got 2 years of power, and they are just getting started. So if you like watching money fly out the window, this is your moment.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.